People often ask this question: how to maintain a work-life balance? How to manage both, without compromising with the other? But the real question is, does work-life balance even exist? And to tell you honestly, well, it doesn't. Just think about it. Most of our life revolves around work. How can you possibly differentiate between the two? It is practically impossible. In fact, it's just another fancy term of today's times, especially popular in the corporate culture, emphasizing that you must be able to juggle both, without making the other suffer. But the way you approach work makes all the difference. And before we clear your dogma around work-life balance, let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts regarding this subject? Number 1. Don't treat it as a goal. With the hectic hustle culture, achieving goals and maximizing productivity are together considered to be the ideal social norm. So it's deeply ingrained in our heads to set targets for everything, no matter how preposterous they are. Goals are supposed to make you disciplined and ambitious in life. So take it in that intended spirit. If, for some reason, you are unable to achieve your target, don't blame it on yourself, and consider yourself a failure. Stop feeling guilty, and move on with your life. It's the same thing with work-life balance. Its purpose is to make your life smoother, and not to put an extra burden on yourself that you need to accomplish. The moment you treat it as a journey, instead of a milestone, trust me, your life will be much simpler and comfortable. You can achieve much more than you could ever imagine. Number 2. Understand your priorities. We all know that things don't always work according to a plan of action. Something or the other certainly pops in the middle. But you must be adaptive enough to handle any situation, anytime. There's no point in being stubborn and trying to avoid problems. For example, you have a family emergency, and at the same time, you have an important presentation to give. What would you do? Obviously prioritize your family, right? Your work-life balance is of no use here. My point is, whatever comes your way, you must understand your priorities. Many people intentionally work long hours, and later complain that they don't get enough family time. And that's because you're not aware of your priorities, and so you are always burdened with work. Personal and professional life can either be kept separate or connected. It's up to you to decide. Number 3. Accept your choices. For some, it might be easier to accept, but for others, it might be very difficult. But whatever you do in life ultimately boils down to one thing: your choices. You are responsible for all the good or bad that happens in your life, including your career. If you choose a career path under peer pressure, then you seek others' validation to feel accepted. Likewise, if you take the road less traveled, then you are ready to accept challenges that come along your way. Everything has its pros and cons. But that should not influence your resolution. Rather, your decisions should be driven by your interests. Number 4. Take breaks whenever necessary. It's important that you recognize your breaking point. There should be some boundary between work mode and rejuvenation time. Take leave from work whenever you feel the need. Otherwise, overexertion can lead to burnout, isolation, or in extreme cases, even depression. The trap of overtime is highly tempting, yet catastrophic. If your workplace rewards extra hours over performance, then it's high time to call it quits and look for another job. Because your work priorities would take over your personal life, and you won't even notice. Working in a toxic culture is not only emotionally draining, but also mentally disturbing. You don't get enough time for other important things in your life. Remember, your overall wellness, family, friends, social commitments, etc., are a big part of your life that require equal attention. Number 5. Don't treat it on a time-based factor. All of us like to strategize our goals using a timetable. It's an effective way to make your life more organized. But as long as it helps you in a productive way, it is beneficial. The second you struggle to complete tasks on a timely basis, your work-life balance will fall apart. you will become miserable and fall back further on your schedule. But instead of time-based criteria, if you use a priority-based system, you can accomplish a lot more with much ease and without any stress. Understand which task is urgent and requires your immediate attention. Finish it off as soon as possible by putting your complete focus and energy. Next thing you know, you have achieved your target, even before your ideal turnaround time. Not only will you complete important tasks beforehand, but also have some extra time to do things you enjoy the most. Number 6. Keep it flexible. Nothing is constant in life, including your work-life balance. Your way of thinking and responsibilities are certainly going to be different 5 years down the lane. What you decide upon right now is subject to change later on. It can be anything from your job, your likes and dislikes, your goals and daily schedule, and even your career path and family. After a certain period of time, everyone is bound to get bored and look for other alternatives. Mind it, this is different from staying firm on your decisions. You should be fully committed to what you have decided upon. Once you have achieved your target, only then consider moving on to your next venture. That's why it's advisable not to chase perfection. Learn to experiment in life and be flexible. Number 7. Enjoy what you do. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, it is you who is directly impacted. So be careful of what you choose. This is for your own benefit, because the more you try to discriminate your work from your personal life, the more severe the consequences will be, which will make you frustrated. Don't regret your work life. Whatever you do, do it with full dedication. Then you won't feel a stark difference between the two. In fact, you will naturally enjoy what you do. Moreover, you won't be compelled to slog all the way to work and have the desire to enjoy your weekends so desperately. Both are equally distasteful. If you are still confused, just remember one thing: when life gives you lemons, make some lemonade. It is as simple as that. Number 8. Follow your passion. Last but not the least, the concept of work-life balance will not exist if you follow your passion. There are 2 reasons for this. Number 1. You will never get bored of what you love doing. And secondly, you will always be ready to face challenges without any hesitation. The reason behind this is quite simple. Your end goal will always motivate you to overcome any problem. Another possibility could be that you get to become your own boss, in case you wish to start your own business or anything else. Not only will you be able to excel in your field of interest, but also spend some quality time with your near and dear ones. This is possible only if you are fully committed. More importantly, you are really aware of your passion. Work-life balance doesn't come from running behind a schedule, but what you are able to do within that time frame, that makes all the difference. One more thing. Don't forget to subscribe to learn more such knowledgeable facts. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time.